Turron Davenport, USA Today Eagles Wire, Sports Pass Live. What's going on, Turron?
Hey, what's going on, man? You talking that PE? Welcome to the Turron, though. Can't trust it. Got ready to go in the Eagles weight room and get a lift in.
I'll spot you, brother. I'll spot you on that one. Hey, news coming out from Eagles practice today from your Twitter account. A lot of video there at @TDavenport_NFL. Looks like Chance Warmack getting a run with the first unit out there. Seumalo standing on the sideline. How'd that play out?
Yeah, well, what happened when they first came out before practice, you know, they do their, actually at the start of practice, they do their individual period. And I noticed that Chance Warmack was working alongside of Jason Peters, and you saw Seumalo working with Big V, you know, and that's something that could be a sign that you might have a change at left guard this week. But then even once, just before they brought us in and we weren't able to watch any further, the whole first unit was working together, and lo and behold, there was Chance Warmack in there. So that could be a sign that, you know, you're going to see a different guy at left guard, and I think that could help the running game, to be honest with you.
No doubt. Let me ask you your opinion on this. See, the one thing about Seumalo, I feel like he didn't win that job. They handed it to him. And I mean, it's almost like the Eagles had three better options when you put Barber in the mix there. It seemed that he was the fourth of the four options, and yet he was the guy starting. That's what I think fires me up about his struggles and why they went with him. He didn't earn that position. They gave it to him.
Yeah, he definitely didn't earn the position, and it's strange because it's not like this guy was a first-round pick or even a second-round pick for that matter. So, you know, when you just hand a guy a position and you trade away a guy like Allen Barber, I mean, that could play up and down the offensive line, you in this case, I think they made a mistake. So that wasn't a good move. And to be honest with you, I felt as far as pass blocking wise, and I didn't really see this until Barrett Brooks told me one day when we were watching practice, their best pass blocker at left guard was Dallas Thomas, but they released him also. So, I mean, listen, giving up 4 out of 6 sacks like he did last week is not a good move. I mean, I wonder how his confidence is. It's going to be interesting seeing how it all plays out. But something has to change, whether that be within Seumalo or just within their unit by getting him out of there.
Turron, Deshaun, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you? You wrote that Doug Pederson wants to go with the hot hand at running back, but it can't happen in a pass-happy #Eagles offense. Is LeGarrette Blount honestly getting the opportunity to be the bell cow back here?
Well, you tell me. He has 15 carries in 2 games. Definitely not, man. You know, and when you look at this, the way Blount, especially a bigger back like Blount, he's one of those guys, I mean, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll say he's 245 pounds, right? He's probably heavier, but let's just say 245. Imagine having that continuously ram against you over and over during a game. What ends up happening in the fourth quarter, those little 1-yard runs, 2-yard runs, 4-yard runs, they start to become a 10-yard run, then a 12-yard, then a 6, then a 4. And next thing you know, the box score analyst will say, oh, he had a good whole game, when in fact it wasn't a good whole game. It just the way things kind of took place is he wore down the defense and then started to become more effective. So I think when you have a guy like that, you got to give him carries. I mean, you can't just give him the ball. He's not that guy. And this was exactly why when the draft season was here, you know, people were like, hey, you know what, if the Eagles would get Fournette, they should get him. I said, no, you don't get him, because he's the same type of guy where he's a volume running back. And that's a lot of these people saying, hey, they need to get AP, Adrian Peterson. I'm saying, no, don't do that, because he's a volume running back. These guys need carries to be effective. But when you look at a guy like a Dalvin Cook, who could give you 12 to 14 carries for 70 to 90 yards, now you got the personnel to work within the offense. Because let's face it, Doug Pederson is not going to run the football. So, you know, this whole thing about going with the hot hand, how can you go with the hot hand when you're not giving anybody an opportunity to develop that hot hand?
It's funny that you just said that. You said Doug Pederson doesn't want to run the football. Is that just how he's wired? I mean, in the NFL, you cannot win.
He's a quarterback, man. They want to throw.
You can't win late in the season without running the football. That's the motto. You run the football and you play good defense in December and January, correct?
Exactly. And that's something that I call, and back when the Seahawks and 49ers were the top two teams in the league, man, I said to myself, I said, these two teams are what we call pack and play, right? You could just pack it up, and they could go wherever they have to go, and they're going to play. Why? Because they have a smothering defense. They're a top running team, and they work the passing game off of that running offense. And that's really what you have to do. When it's time to just say, okay, you know what? We got to circle the wagons. We're down at a stadium like Arrowhead. We got to circle the wagons. We're going to go shoot a shoe, and we're just going to take control of this game. You have to be able to do that, and that's not what the Eagles could do. And that's really the problem. I mean, there's no way the flow of that game could have gone away from running the football. It was 13-13 in the fourth quarter. So you can't tell me flow of the game is acceptable either.
Not to mention, Turron, your opinion. Can they not run the ball effectively, or do they choose not? I mean, does he not run it because he doesn't think they can?
I think they choose not to run the ball effectively. It's all about dedicating to the process. You look at that same game, right? First half, Kareem Hunt, 1.8 yards a carry. First two carries, a total of 2 yards. His next carry, -1. They go back to the running game 2 plays later, 53-yard pop. It's a dedication to running the football, and you have to set things up. They don't give anybody an opportunity to set things up, to work a move, a cut that they will make for a later cut that they'll make in another carry later in the game. So, I mean, I think it's really a lack of dedicating themselves to running the football, and as a result, you're seeing what you're seeing.
And a lot of it looks like the running game was disrupted because of Seumalo. Like, it looked like the fact that he was losing, there was some room to be had, but he was losing, and so bad that he was disrupting the run game.
Yeah, there was a lack of push up front, so that's definitely the case. I mean, Chris Jones was having his way with Seumalo, and, you know, that's where I think the confidence may have taken a hit because, simply put, he got violated.
Yeah.
So you can't have that. You have to get a push up front, and they weren't able to get it.
Turron Davenport, at @Davenport_NFL, member of the Pro Football Writers Association, USA Today, Eagles Wire, and, of course, right here on the Sports Bash, 97.3 ESPN. I got your spot, brother.